Bama football on YouTube. It is Thursday. It is January 22nd. Yo, could I get a roll tide up inside the comment box? Good morning to everybody. And honestly, as I always say on Wake Up Bama, like the first thing is like sometimes just the blessing in itself is just being like waking up. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget as we start the show to just practice gratitude in your life, right? So like, let's kind of use that as a tipping point to go into this day. And I appreciate you guys. Honestly, like you probably get tired of me saying that I really appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you guys. So thank you. And I don't want it to ever go like left. I don't want in my life for things to go unsaid. Okay. So like, all you all right here inside the comment box, I want to go and say, like, I appreciate you guys, okay? Michael Hill, thank you. Army 32, thank you for being here. Max Tooney, thank you. Young C, thank you, right? I mean, Amanda Jane, thank you. Miss Nicole Covington, thank you. I appreciate you guys for showing up. Capstone Farms, Max Tooney, always being here, 100%, man. This guy, Max Tooney, is the first guy on the podcast every morning. It's like, who wakes up at 4 a.m., right? It's like Max does because he's pumped up. Right? He's got a commitment, right, to be excited about the program. Thank you so much. Brock the Baller, what's up, bro? I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And Brock the Baller is saying that Coach Kapilovic has been fired, but no official word. I guess, after he's done recruiting, they'll kick him to the curb. I have no idea. I mean, that is the biggest thing that people have been waiting for, right? So, yeah, I see a lot of people talking about Coach Kapilovic. All right. I haven't seen that, to be honest. We'll dive into it. We'll talk about Pringle from Miami because everybody wants to know who's next. But I just wanted to kind of start the show and say thank you for being here. So thank you so much for joining me inside the comment box. We'll still do some AM shout-outs, but I just don't want things to go unsaid. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is short. Things happen, and I just want you guys to know that I really appreciate you guys for being here on the program each and every day, all 48 of you right here on Bama Football on YouTube, okay? So it is Thursday. It is January 22nd, and here's a look at the transfer portal class, right? So when you look to the transfer portal class, you got 18, and I think probably the majority of people might look at this class and be less optimistic. I think if you're not an Alabama football fan, you probably look at this class and be like, my God, like they're going to be horrible. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that you can look at any sort of class and say that you're going to have instant success. It's just, it is just too far out for anybody to understand how any transfer portal class is going to be. Like you can't predict the future. We've tried it, right? There's been a lot of people that can try it, and you just can't, right? Okay, so looks like there's a lot of stuff inside the comment box. Okay, you know what? We'll just supersede the entire show, and we'll just go to this, okay? It seems like you guys have a lot of questions. Okay, so why don't you guys, it seems like, before anything, it seems like you have a lot on your mind, so go ahead and post if you want to address me, because it seems like there's a lot that you guys are talking about, okay? Post Kyle question, and we'll just supersede the entire show, and we'll just answer the questions, okay? Because it sounds like there's a lot of stuff going on that we need to address. So if you have something, just post it right now, and let's just get it on the board so we can talk about this, and then we'll come back and then start the show again. Okay, so number one thing has Conrad says it inside the comment box. Let's get the messages on. Okay. Let's see. Why is this showing? All right. So, okay. Has Haywood signed? I asked a source if Haywood is signed. I never got an answer back. Okay. I legitimately asked somebody if Haywood is signed. Nobody answered me back. Okay. I can ask another source on this, but I guess that's out there. I haven't seen that it's out there. Fans are completely burned by where we're at. Nobody trusts anybody, okay? Nobody, because you know who did this? Is that kid from that kid that went to Texas. I mean, what he did so much mental damage on everybody that now nobody believes commitment. The only way that Alabama fans are going to believe that any of those 18 guys are legitimately in the program is to see them in a uniform playing on Saturday. Like, they don't even care if they're here for spring football. They want to see them absolutely, like, playing. I have asked, okay, about Haywood. I did not get an answer. I don't get an answer on a lot of things that I ask. Sometimes no answer is an answer in itself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, okay? Usually how it works is the university makes like a big announcement about guys that are, signed or whatever. This is a different world. There's different dynamics to all of this. And I think if you, and people right now are searching for so much in terms of, does this mean that? Does this mean this? Did we get another offensive lineman because, Haywood didn't sign? I don't know that. I don't think so. I mean, from what I understand, like Haywood, like wanting to be here, like this was the spot. So, but I'm telling you, the things that Hollywood did to people is terrible, because I have never seen a more pessimistic approach from people not believing stuff than that. It's crazy. I totally understand it, right? Totally understand it. Okay, what else we got? Capstone Farm. So I'll keep you posted, right? I promise. My life, like me buying groceries, depends on me reporting the news. So like I would never keep something from you, okay? Like never. I would never just like hold on to something. Like that's how I make a living. So a lot of people message me and they're like, man, like give me the scoop. When are you going to like, I tell you when I find out, right? Capstone Farm says this, Kyle, it seems like we are putting a lot of faith with transfers who have minimal playing time. They may turn into All-Americans, but seeing is believing. Yeah. I mean, you can kind of go back and look at guys. So what I always do from like the transfer portal's perspective is I look at past guys that the staff recruited. Now, I brought up some interesting stats just recently. I mean, think about all the transfers that have been added to the roster this year. This is a huge signing class. And I always ask you, are there more hits than misses with the evaluations? This is where your evaluation team comes in more than anything, right? I would say that there's probably been like more than 65% hit rate on the transfers. Would you agree with that? I mean, we're going into our third season, but that's a pretty high hit rate. It might even be higher than that. And some of the guys that didn't have a lot of playing experience, let's think about some of those guys and how did they fare, right? I would say that some of those guys that had minimal playing time and came over here, either they got beat out by someone that was already on the roster or it worked out for them, right? But yeah, this is a gigantic transfer portal class. And I think when you kind of go back to the beginning, and I know you don't want to see like this, I don't know, maybe you do or not. You look at this entire graphic and you're like, okay, which guys really have significant playing time? Okay, this guy does, Caleb Woodson, okay? This guy played a ton. Devin Tompkins played meaningful snaps as well. The punter did as well. Ethan Tangle did as well. Carmelo O'Neal did, but you don't like him because he came from Mercer, right? I get that. But he played in 700 snaps. That seems like a lot of snaps to me. This guy didn't play. Noah Rogers played a ton. Lorcan Quinn played a ton. This guy didn't play at all. This guy played a tremendous amount. Nick Brooks played some. He even started against Ohio State. This guy didn't play too much. This guy played a really good amount. He's played in 35 out of 37 games, right, Zulu? And then James, this guy played in 850 snaps and only allowed 3 sacks. So I think you have a combination, like when you look to the transfer portal in terms of guys who do have experience, and you can't get every single guy that has experience. I think a lot of these guys are depth pieces, to be honest, right? I think there's a good blend of that. I think you have guys who are coming in here and they're going to be bona fide starters, and I think guys who are going to be here for a year and then transfer out. That's it, right? Like I would say, like guys to watch that like are like, there's portal surfers. There's going to be portal surfers in every single class. That's just how it works. And, they come in, they surf out, and that's that. You're like, oh, man, that guy's in the transfer portal again. You've all seen the recruiting graphics. It's like this school, this school, this school, this school, finally that school. It's a 1-year season with all of these guys. It doesn't matter who they are. It's just one season, and that's it. You only have players right now for one season, and then you have to re-sign them. That's it. So for the next year, those are the guys that we got, and that's kind of it. Andy asked right here, Kyle, of all our high school recruiting class, how many enrolled early for the January? Most all of them. It's like I don't know, like 90% of them. There's a couple mid-year guys. I'd like one mid-year guy would be like Nolan Wilson. And you're like, oh, man, like maybe that guy won't play. It's crazy. The mid-year guys are ready to go as well. I mean, think about Ryan Williams was a mid-year guy, right? He came in. It doesn't matter. So I think it helps when you come in during January, and most of those guys do, is like 90% of the class. Everybody graduates now in like December. There's no more like graduating in like May, right? What other questions you guys have? I saw something about, was there stuff about Kapilovic? A lot of people, okay, this is, if people want to break the internet, like I guess people are hearing, I haven't personally heard this, but we've been talking about it since like the beginning of, right, January, right? After Alabama got its teeth kicked in against Indiana, right? So I guess people are inside the comment box. I'll just ask. I haven't seen it, but people are saying that Coach Kapilovic is going to get fired at some point this season, like some point within the next like week, or it could be faster. I don't know. I have not heard that. What I do know is that Coach Kapilovic is like the main guy recruiting for Alabama right now. How does that work? I don't know. So let me ask you a poll question, okay? Let's do this. Will Coach Cap be fired within a week? Okay. Yes or no inside the comment box. I haven't heard that. To me, I'm like, okay, this guy's recruiting. This guy just recruited the transfer portal. And then like after he's done this, they just fire him. I don't know. It doesn't line up to me. I think there should be changes made. But why? I think the further we get from January 1, the less likely that is. Can you shift guys around within the coaching roster? Yeah. Maybe that happens. He seems like he's been doing a hell of a job recruiting. That's kind of the crazy thing. Because every single time a guy committed, he was thanking Coach Kapilovic. So right now, 66% of you say no. I think I'm going to I guess I'm going to say no, but to be honest, I don't know. And see, like something like this, I could buy something like this, like an off the field role. I could totally get that to where you could still use his recruiting prowess and then kind of shift and put him somewhere else. I'm in this tank. I could see this happening, but in terms of like firing him, I don't know. I don't think so. Stoney says this, I've been in college game before. I have never known a position coach being fired at this point just for coaching. Yeah, I'm kind of here too. What other questions you guys have? And then I'm going to go start the show again, but it seemed like you guys had a lot of questions to start the show, so I just want to kind of like open it up and get to those questions. I think there was another one on Pringle, right? You got, every time, I think, and this was part of the show, sometimes you guys beat me to it. I'm like going to talk about something and you guys are just like, yo. So I'm like, I just would address it. Do you think that Alabama goes after another running back? That was going to be on the show, but you guys were talking about it, so I just bring it to the forefront. Do you think that Alabama goes into the portal and gets this freshman running back out of Miami? It seems like they wanted a running back early in the transfer portal. Now that we're kind of, I don't know where we're at, the end of it or whatever. it seems like they've kind of gone away and we've seen less names. So who is Gerard Pringle? Let's start there. I'm sure a lot of you know about him. I'm sure some of you don't. 5'10", 190 pounds. He's a running back out of Miami. He's a freshman, 62 carries, 375 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And I know that you guys saw Malachi Toney. There's a fake site. It's called No3. It posted that Malachi hit the transfer portal. Malachi Toney did not hit the transfer portal. Malachi Toney is probably making $10 to $15 million at Miami. Okay, he's not hitting the transfer portal. Okay, so Brock is saying that Miami has been in contact with Gerard Pritchard. So a freshman, you got a lot of guys, right? So here's kind of a look at the running back room. Does Pritchard come in, or does Pringle come in rather? And is he the starter? Yes or no inside the comment box. Do you guys feel that if Alabama was to add Pringle to this lineup, that he is a day one starter? And, Sean's asking the questions. He's like, can he block? Right? And who does he play? Like, whose place does he take? Because I've been asking before. I'm like, yo, who plays more out of this room? Is he a starter? Are a lot of these guys coming here to be backup roles, right? And you guys calling for a scat back. Isn't that like, I thought like Trayshawn Brown would be that guy, or like A.K. Deere, Kevin Riley. Those guys are like kind of shifty, change your pace type guys. You got your physically imposing guy. This is always a fun one to do right here. Sound off inside the comment box. Who plays more this season, right? Because everybody has him slated as a starter, but he didn't even play at all. Like, he barely played this year, sparingly, right? Yeah, and Hacker Music's like, from Miami to say tampering. Miami buys players. Everything is tampering. Everything is broken. Everybody is cheating. It's college athletics is off the rails. The whole Bediako thing is crazy, but everybody's doing it. Does Alabama get an asterisk the rest of the year for what the games they won when, Bediako helps them win a national championship? I don't know. Does Miami using Carson Beck? Why don't we ever talk about Chris Winkie? Do you guys remember Chris Winkie? You guys don't even know who I'm talking about, huh? Chris Winkie played 6 years professional baseball and then was like, you know what? I want to try college. When he started college, he was like 26 years old. Remember this? But everybody's doing it now. I mean, it's completely crazy. So, do you guys mind if I like start the show though? Because I just wanted to like kind of get to some questions. So, with that said, welcome to Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Alabama now up to 18 prospects in the transfer portal. And, man, this is one hell of a transfer portal haul. Are these guys going to be good? Is it going to be the best class ever? Who the hell knows? Nobody. Don't look at the transfer portal rankings, please. I don't even want to talk about them. I don't care. It's make-believe. There's no way to tell where the transfer portal guys are because we don't know how good it's like preseason rankings, right? Look at the preseason rankings and then look at where the teams are. Nobody knows. It's stuff to click on. It's stuff to talk about, which is cool, right? But it's like, man, like it's about people don't understand this. The transfer portal rankings are who spent the most money. That's it, right? The transfer portal is about roster building along with like for needs, a couple dynamic pieces, but it should be the retention rankings. Who retained? Who was able to upgrade in certain positions? I heard someone ask me about special teams. Nobody cares about special teams other than me, so thank you so much. Yes, they upgraded at special teams. We had a kicker. He got better the back end of the year, but this Lorcan Quinn gives you more leg, right? You upgraded. This punter, I mean, welcome to the SEC. It's a lot different than punting up in Florence. But if you can, be consistent, you look at the national title teams. Miami and Indiana had punters that were banging them. 48 was like the average. right? Got to have a long snapper, right? I do think they upgrade on special teams, to be honest. And then, I don't know, I'll have to kind of sit down and look at like the top 5 overall transfers that they got. I'm still real high on Terrence Green. I think that was a really good addition. You needed a center. Racing Dalgatti certainly got to be up there. I do feel that Noah Rogers will emerge into probably one of the top receivers here. And I think he probably takes, at least now, kind of shooting from January 22nd, I think he's in heavy competition with Rico Scott, right? I think as soon as they got, because, it's interesting, they re-signed Rico and then they added Noah Rogers. They're definitely not pulling Ryan Williams off the field. They're definitely not pulling Lazier Brooks off the field. So who's going to be your third wide receiver? And a lot of people on here have Derek Meadows as being a number 1 wide receiver. And it was like, he barely even played last year. I hope he does. I hope he turns into a great wide receiver, and I think he can. But, you gotta get on the field. Just like Ryan, you got to catch the ball. Let's see. Kyle, they're saying tampering with the running backs from Miami. I wouldn't even look into that. Everybody's tampering. It's all broken. There's no rules. Miami's not playing by the rules. Alabama's not playing by the rules. Nobody's playing by the rules. What rules? You know what it is? Everything is a gray area. 100%. There's too many gray areas. There's no alignment. Everything's different, conference-based. Everything's different, NIL-based. Everything's different. I wouldn't tampering. No, everybody's tampering. So I wouldn't. I wouldn't worry one thing about it. When's the last time that you've seen like anybody get in trouble for like tampering? They just get a slap on the wrist, sliding into a kid's DM. I know of many different situations, many right now, where a coach keeps in contact with the parent of a player who's at another school. And it's just like, hey, just, kind of checking in, right? Not directly talking to the player, but talking to that parent. Just be like, hey, just want to say, the kid played a great game or whatever, just saying hi, just a point of contact. What that is being like, the reading between the lines is being like, yo, we're here if you guys want to get the hell out of there. Okay? That's what that is. And everybody's tampering, so I wouldn't. Tampering? Are you serious? Army 3275 says, if you can get a pro basketball player back, why not players from other leagues? This is going to be the Bediako case is absolutely wild. What's happening with Bediako? You want to open up a can of worms? We opened up a can of something. This is crazy. And you know what? The University of Alabama is fully behind it. And so is Nate Oates. And Nate Oates is going to play. He is going to play on Saturday. Bediako is. I was going to talk about Bediako too here on my show. Once they get him, I think they absolutely become a team that is competing for titles, like a title this year. That's how good they'll be. Okay, so maybe look at this board and maybe give it a couple days, or if you're ready to now. But let's figure out kind of like a top 5 list in these categories. Which 5 do you think will play immediately? Okay, inside the comment box. Which 5 will play immediately? Which 5 are in competition battles? Okay. And which 5 are, let's say, reserve players, like quality reserves, right? So we'll break it down into 3 parts, okay? I'm going to write this down so we can come back later. So top 5 starters, top 5 position battles, and then top 5 like depth, okay? And then 3 over there is, it can't be special teams, okay? Can't be special teams. Special teams is too easy. All those guys are going to be starters, okay? So it's got to be, that's the only rule that we have. It's got to be outside of special teams, all right? All right. Let's give some quick shout outs to some people up inside the comment box. Thank you so much for being here and being super active inside the comment box. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best, honestly. Sean, what's up, man? Good to see you. Asking about Pringle from Miami. Thank you so much. I'll kind of just go around the horn here. Chris from New Jersey. Thank you so much. Jackson, what's up, bro? I appreciate you. Ryan Paris, good to see you, man. Brock, what's up, dude? Like that avatar. Good to see it. Miss Kimberly, what's going on? Bama RTR, thank you so much for kicking it with us. Max Tooney, I think I said what's up to you earlier. Miss Debbie, good morning to you. Cameron Fuller, what's up, bro? Thank you for being here on the show this morning. Capstone Farms. Wesley Gordon, good to see you, dude. I don't know if you see you post inside the comment box, but good to see you. Big homie, always coming with it. Thank you so much. Marquise, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Happy Thursday. Cameron, all right. Sean, what's up, man? Okay. Jackson, what's going on? Thank you very much for being here. Eric Gray, you remember Chris Winkie, right? I think by the time he was out, he was playing, he was 28 years old, right? Kyle, does Miami have, I think they have way more than that. I mean, schools are saying that whole like $20 million cap is like, it's too light. I think pretty soon they're just going to open up the floodgates and they'll just be like, you know, the salary cap will be like, I don't know, $250 million. The universities have billions, right? I mean, let's call it what it is. Kyle, they say, tampering with the Miami running backs. Yeah, I ain't going to believe any of that. I think everybody is tampering. What's up, Rex? Good to see you, man. $44. Good to see you, brother. And then, let's see, Michael Hill, I think we said what's up to you. Dark Too Light, what's up? I like that username. Miss Amanda Jane, what's going on? Brodja, good to see you, man. Tyler, what's up, bro? Thank you so much to everybody kicking it inside the comment box. I think I try to get as many people as I can. If I don't give you like a personal shout out, don't get mad. It's just there's a lot of people that are in here. Todd, good to see you. Jay, I think I saw Miss Anna somewhere in here. Tide will rise. Good to see you, bro. All right, welcome to the show. Appreciate it. All right. And then thank you to our live show sponsors too. If you want to become like a sponsor of the show, you know, thank you so much. Hit that join button and think about it. There's different levels, and yeah, you can support Bama football on YouTube. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Are you guys talking about the fake account with Malachi Tony, or something else? There's so many fake accounts. You got to be keep your head on the swivel in there. So the Malachi Tony is false. He's not entering the transfer portal. Yeah, and Jarvis, thank you so much. Yeah, Wake Up Bama. In case you missed it, it was a good one for sure. Okay, so we have been talking recently, and I would love to hear feedback in this. And I'm so curious to see what happens going forward. So like the coaches right here. So you got Courtney Morgan, Coach Caitlin DeBoer, Mo Lindquist, Christian Robinson out on the recruiting trail. These guys are everywhere. They're in helicopters or in planes. And the first thing, my God, we post this picture and people are like, oh, it's a yellow helicopter. It's like, oh my, like people are mad about everything. It's just it's a rented helicopter that happens to be yellow, right? That's it. That's all. Like take the helicopter, like take the color out of it. What I'm getting at is think about this. The coaches are still flying around because this is one of the things I was wondering about is like how important is anything going to change with high school recruiting going forward? Do you think so? Or do you think are we still going to, I think it just might shrink down the classes, if anything. So it's still important, right? But you're still kind of doing a full court press recruiting, right? You can't, I mean, Alabama's never going to be a school that just has abandons high school recruiting. Right? And if you've been following these photos out there, DeBoer's been rocking, people have been talking about his shoes. He's been wearing a variety of shoes, which have been good. He's got good shoe game, 100%. So I don't think we're ever going to get to a point where we're signing 25, 30 high school guys. I think it's going to be probably more in that 20 range, right? And then I think it'll probably be around 20 transfer portal guys. And then you try to work the rest retention because that's 40, right? And then you try to have that large majority, however you're getting up to 105 with guys that have been here a couple years. I just think it's going to be really difficult going forward to continue to keep retaining players like multiple years. That's going to be the biggest challenge. It's not going to be hard to get guys to Alabama. It never has been. You're going to be able to go into the transfer portal, get guys. You're going to be able to go recruiting and get guys. Keeping guys is the hardest thing, which is crazy because nobody wants to stay. Well, like it, I think it's really challenging for players to have loyalty for more than 1 year. That's why I love the retention guys, right? Like, damn, like if you're re-signing to come back here, thank you. And the better, I think it should be like this too. The more, this is going to be interesting. Are the team, who's going to be better going forward? The teams that were able to retain more players or the teams that were able to buy more players? You see what I'm saying? I mean, is it kind of the same? I mean, you're re-signing, you're buying. I would think that the retention teams are going to be better, but maybe not. Maybe it's just all about buying guys. Wild times. But by showing you this graphic, I do think, because I've seen the coaches all over, they're still putting a heavy emphasis on high school recruiting. So if you're out there and you thought it was just going to like disappear, I think it'll change. But clearly, I mean, they're still on the road seeing all these high school prospects, which is good because, my God, it's like, you imagine being a high school player right now, working your tail off to try to get to the next level, and then all of a sudden just high school recruiting isn't important anymore? I think it's certainly taking a step back, but these kids are grinding. And now it's like a semi-pro game. I think it does hurt high school recruiting, to be honest. So, but I do like the photo, and I do like Coach's shoes, by the way. He had some other ones on. I don't know if did you guys see the ones that kind of had like a houndstooth pattern on the back end? Right? I thought that was dope. I love I love kind of like a crimson and white, and then like a little small touch of houndstooth somewhere, like kind of on the back end by the heel. Okay. Yesterday, were you guys happy with this? Thumbs up if you guys were. Javen James come in. Is this the guy is he going to be the instant left tackle? And I know what you're saying. You're like looking at the tackles that we got in. You're like, okay, we got guys, and Kyle's put on the board that, you know, this guy could be here. This guy could be anywhere. I give you graphics just to look at, right? We don't know who's going to be where until we start practicing. But when Javen James committed yesterday, I think everybody – hold on one second. South Carolina is pursuing the buyout that was outlined in its contract. Huh. Wow, this is interesting. Let me read through this real quick. It looks like a buyout. It's with Zulu, that he signed a contract to return to South Carolina for 2026 before. Oh my God. This is crazy. All right, so this is just in, and I'll bring it up. Wow, this is crazy. Jordan K. All right, let's check this out real fast. God, the news is just unbelievable. I can't, like, covering college football in this lifetime is just wild. I mean, it's definitely exciting, but I think I should bring this to the attention real quick. All right. I haven't read the story. I'm just going to read the headline, and then we'll come back to it, okay? Okay, so as you know, I guess it was last week, Alabama signed Umuzulu, right, from South Carolina. And Jordan K., a reporter that covers the Gamecock, says that South Carolina is pursuing the buyout that was outlined in its contract with Zulu per source. Zulu signed a contract to return to South Carolina for the 2026 season before entering the transfer portal and committing to Alabama. Is pursuing the buyout. Okay. So, let's see. I guess the first thing that comes to mind is like Landon saying, did we lose Desmond? I don't think so. I think that Alabama probably was aware of a buyout. I think that just means that Bama has to pay that buyout, which I think is kind of common right now. right? The only way that you don't get Zulu is if you don't pay that buyout, which I think, look, they need a bandit type player. They need a wolf type player. They need him. So, yeah, I think you see where we're at? Like this sort of stuff. Isn't this crazy? Yeah, and I think the difference is, Jarvis, because this is another like Duke type situation. I think the universities are going to start holding the players' contracts. Like they're going to be like, look, you signed this. But I think in this particular situation, they're not going to like demand him to come back. I think it's going to be more about just Alabama paying that buyout, and then we go forward. So in my prediction, I would imagine that Bama keeps him. What do y'all think? I think that's what happens here. And I think you're probably going to see more and more of that is like teams. Look, we've already had kind of two major situations like this. We had a situation to where Washington's quarterback tried to do something, tried to leave. Washington was like, no, you signed. He came back. Same thing with Duke, right? Duke's quarterback tried to go to Miami. Now they're suing him. He's probably going to return, right? So in this situation, I think the only thing that is different is they're just requiring the buyout. And once Alabama pays that buyout, that'll be good. So just another thing to watch. All right? So we'll keep tabs on that going forward. Really crazy. Absolutely just wild news. All right. You guys okay inside the comm box? All right. Let's see. The buyouts get deducted from your allocated of NIL. Can we get discounted that from the buyout? Man, yes, I know. Oh, my God. Shoot. This kind of money, man, wild, right? So, Landon says Josh Pate needs to just take over everything. Yeah, somebody does. It might as well be Josh Pate, sure. Him and then Saban, right? Yeah. Just have those two running things. Yeah, I don't care. Somebody you know what it's like? It's like we're in a bus and there's like no one's driving and just like all these like different things are happening. You're like, well, who's driving this thing? And you're like trying to look and there's like nobody. Oh man. Josh, I would say with the buyout, something. I think it'll be change. I'm telling you, Alabama, you're like, they're broke. No, money comes from different areas. Alabama is not broke. They're limited in probably some areas, but like they can come up with $100,000 like microseconds. It's like, do you have a dime? Do you have a penny? That's what that is to Alabama, 100,000. I don't know what the buyout is on that, but they'll take care of that. They're just going to pay it. So, were you guys pumped up about Javen James? And I know what you're thinking. You're like, I was thinking it too. Is like, is it because that Haywood like hasn't signed? Did they sign another left tackle? I don't know about that. I don't know. But what I do know is this guy brings in a ton of experience at the tackle position. And I'm like, damn, so is this the left tackle? I guess, right? 6'6", 320. He'll be a redshirt junior. Last year, look how many snaps he had. That's a ton of experience. Guy has what, 1,200 snaps in the past 2 seasons? Okay, yes or no inside the comment box. Do you think that this guy starts at left tackle? It's way too early, but do you think so? I kind of do. I don't know. I think competition clearly. And Kyle is asking the right questions. Like, did this guy sign? Who signed? Right? So this guy, Javen James, adds to the equation, right? I think a lot of people have him as a starting left tackle, right? So Mike, Josh, and Todd do, right? That's good enough for me, Miss Kimberly, Sean. Yeah, the round table, right? And these are your offensive linemen so far. Okay. So what we have, is it 16, 17? Yeah, so we have 16 total offensive linemen. Here's kind of a snapshot, and it looks like we took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you got a good variety of offensive tackles and some interior alignment that you got. End of times. What's up, man? No, nobody signed. We're just kind of recapping some of the news that we've kind of gone all over the place with the show, but basically the meat of the show is just kind of putting a stamp that Javen signed, committed yesterday, and now we're kind of taking a look at the offensive line. Other topics that we've covered, is Alabama covering or targeting Pringle from Miami. We don't really know at this point, the running back. And then a lot of people are saying that Kapilovic is going to be fired soon. I don't know. I'm saying no. I'm saying maybe I could see him being shifted, but I don't know. Right? Sean's like, Kyle, do you have a graph of what you think the starters would look like? Of course I do, dog. You know me. But I wanted to kind of leave it open for debate. Usually I have this completely filled out. But now I'm like, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys want to see? Because a lot of times I'm like, you guys help me build it out. So let's say we have practice today, okay? And we go out there and let's just say we had Javen James on the left side at tackle, okay? Who would you guys like to see placed at the left guard and at the right tackle position? And damn, I still haven't heard, and I think the reason I haven't heard is because people have no idea if Michael Carroll's going to play guard or if they're going to keep him at tackle. You know, because theoretically, okay, let's just think about this, okay? If we have Javen James come in and he stays at left tackle and you keep Michael Carroll at right tackle, to me, that means that Nick Brooks, Jackson Lloyd, and Ty Haywood are all on the bench. I don't know if that makes sense to me. I mean, do you think that Haywood, Nick Brooks, or Jackson Lloyd can play guard? I don't know. See, like, this is what I'm saying. So Todd has Carroll at right tackle, okay? So does that mean that what I just said, that Jackson Lloyd, Brooks, and Haywood are on the bench behind Javen James? Or can one of those guys play guard? What do you guys think? I'll go full screen so you can kind of see some of the names underneath. And I'm down to switch it up anyways, just to look at it. It's fun to play with. This has probably been the best, set of, because it's a completely redo, right? I like Carroll, to be honest, at guard because I feel he's the most athletic. I like a guy like Jackson Lloyd on the outside because of his athleticism, because of his size, his reach, his mentality, right? Kyle has it, James left tackle, Haywood left. Yeah, and that's another thing too, right? So everybody has heard, I guess, that Coach Kapilovic is fired. Is that right? Let me ask you inside the comment box. So this is like the main thing of the show. I haven't heard it, but it sounds like you guys have. Have you guys heard that Coach Kapilovic is fired? Yes or no inside the comment box. Coach Cap will be moved to analyst. That's what people are saying. Okay. Is that like from the official site? Okay. I haven't heard it. I promise you, if anything like official happens, I'll bring it. Okay. But I don't, in terms of like where that is right now, I haven't heard it. Okay. Not officially. Okay. I'm telling you, some of these, I mean, we'll be tracking it though. Okay. No, it seems like there's a million other places where people are getting their information because they keep on saying Kapilovic's been fired. I'm like, where? Okay, I guess we'll have to see. Anyone else at right tackle that you guys think, or at left guard? So Rex is saying that guard is viewed as Haywood's best fit. Okay. All right. Oh, you guys are saying so Rodney Orr from Tighter Insider. Okay. Got you. Yeah, he's been, I mean, shoot. I met Rodney a couple times when I used to cruise over there. Rodney's been in the game for like, what, 30 years or something like that? He started that website like in like the 90s, right? Yeah, really great dude. I haven't like talked to him, in a while, but yo, he's had that website going for decades, for sure. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think that's what people want. We'll track it. I promise you. I'm here today, so we'll track it for sure. Here's another graphic just to kind of like rehash on things, right? Right, here's another offensive line set just to kind of play with. But you guys are, giving good feedback. Like some people want Michael Carroll at right tackle. I don't even have Javen James on this board. You could put him at left tackle, but just to kind of give you a snapshot of what it could be like. I mean, it could be another set of wide receivers as well. You could put Rico Scott out there. You could remove Ryan Williams. You could put Derek Meadows. You could put, a different receiver over Lazier Brooks if you think somebody's going to beat him out this year, or in the backfield if you think that Xavier Crowell is going to play more than Daniel Hill. Just let me know. Yeah, post inside the comment box, right? But I think kind of the only like cornerstone piece that I think we have right now in this offensive line that was like a for sure starter seems to be Delgatti. Anything else? And I didn't even put a quarterback because as soon as I put a quarterback, I know exactly what will happen. I'll get like 100 messages that I hate that other quarterback. It's the crazy. I don't know what. I need to figure out how to cover the quarterback better. Because if I talk about a quarterback, I get like crushed on it. It means that like right now, people think that I don't like the Mala. Because I'm not like, because I don't think he's going to be a starter. I just, to me, I don't think that he's going to be the starter this year, but it's like, if you guys do, like, let me know. All right. Also on the map, this is probably one of the most popular questions right now, too, is if Gerard Pringle out of Miami, if he's going to commit to Alabama. Now, there's a lot of people talking that Bama was like tampering or something like that to get him. And early on in the show, I just said, I think everybody's tampering, so I don't think somebody's going to get in trouble for tampering. Could you imagine if somebody did in this climate of college football? I don't think anyone's getting in trouble for tampering. But you have a 5'10", 190-pound running back, right? Out of Miami. Clearly a guy, 62 carries, 375 yards last year with 4 tutties. He's a freshman. When you kind of look to Alabama's running back room right now, I guess I ask y'all, do we need another running back? You know what? It kind of seems like we do, right? I kind of go back and forth. This is one of the things that I don't know. Yes or no? Do we need another running back? How come we can't figure this out? I wouldn't be mad about it, to be honest. Does this guy come in and fix our issues? No, Texas is tampering. Everybody's tampering, right? Okay, yes or no inside the comment box. Let me do a poll. Okay, let's do a poll as well. But I also want, okay, so by the way, on 172 votes, 60% of us say no, Kapilovic will be fired this week. I voted in that poll on the no, but 40% believe it. Pretty close, actually. Okay, and now let's start a new poll, and let's talk about the running back. Okay, so let's see. I'll frame it like this: does Alabama need another running back? Pretty vague. Just yes or no. Oh man, I guess I'll vote. Damn, I don't know. Let me see what you guys are saying so far. 50, it's pretty split. I know, this is a tough one. I think on this one, I'm going to vote probably with the majority on this one. I'll say yes. Right? Pretty close vote. Let's look at the running back room here. This might help you too. So we got 5. We take 6. If let's just say they got Pringle, he'd be. I think you'd probably have 3 running backs that are kind of the same, right? Riley, Deere, and Pringle. This is a tough one when you look at the graphic. I don't know. I'm going to vote yes, but I'm like not for sure. Look at the vote, the poll. It's right with me. It's like a 50-50. This is a tough one. Because you see what I'm saying? Now that you look at the graphic, I'm like, okay, well, Pringle, he's a freshman. So is A.K. Deere. Kevin Riley would be a redshirt sophomore. So it's like, and I think all those running backs, in my opinion, are kind of the same. So you can almost get like 3 of the same type back. That's a tough one. I don't know. And let me ask you this: while you're trying to figure out if Alabama needs a running back, and now it's no. Who plays more? We did a lot of this yesterday, and I think we'll do that on Friday's show. But who plays more out of these two? Type A for AK and type E for Crowell. Who plays more this coming season? This is a tough one. These are all tough. I know we're going to go. I would think that he's probably the most anticipated freshman to see, him and Jariah Edwards, right? Oh, man. Tough questions today. Sean wants Derrick Henry to come back. Imagine when we start getting professional athletes to come back for football. That's going to be my favorite. Guys from the past. Oh, man. Okay, let's see. AK. I think, man, I'm probably going to say AK on this. But, man, I'm not going to lie and say that I don't want it. Like, I'm so curious to see what Crowell can do. All right. You guys doing all right? You guys checking in? Okay, so things that we're tracking. Okay, like 100% we're tracking this Coach Kapilovic thing. It seems like there's a little bit of smoke to this. And, you know, when somebody like, you know, one of the big dogs out there, someone, you know, with a voice is saying that there could be something coming. In this case, it looks like Rodney Orr. In regards to Kapilovic being moved to a different assignment, it might be worth something to watch. I'm still kind of a doubting Thomas on it, but we'll find out. So that is something that we are tracking. We're also tracking the Pringle situation, the running back. Maybe there's some interest between Alabama and Pringle, the running back out of Miami. And then additionally, you know, we're kind of just putting a cap on Javen James committing to Alabama. So Juan is saying breaking news, Damon Harris denied another year. Who would be a guy that could come back that like left early for the football team? Is there anybody? Pretty much all those guys signed NFL deals. Is there somebody that went as a okay, think about this. This is going to be tough for you. I don't know if we can even figure this out. Is there, and by the way, yes, Pringles are good. I know I'm going to catch heat and for my, you know, but I like Pringles. Pringles are good. I'm not eating Pringles right now, but like if you offer me some sour cream and onion Pringles, I would take a little thing. My hand can't fit into the Pringles thing. My hands are like a little bit larger. I can't get them into a Pringles thing. So you have to kind of. Do we like Pringles? All right. Okay. I brought this up. This is observations on the Alabama running game. Okay. Just to give you a snapshot of where things stand. And I think we should notate up at the top. This is all the running back. The top, the most yards the running back ran for since 2020. Sometimes we talk about this. Okay. And you got Jan Miller, I think at the top, he was banged up, right? I mean, he didn't play a full season. With that said, he probably would have had only 40 more carries if he was healthy. I mean, it was not like he was getting fed a ton anyways. I would imagine if he was healthy, he'd probably run for maybe 700, 750, something like that. 2024, Jam ran. He was the leading running back as well, 145 for 668. Okay, you probably have similar. I bet you Jam would have ran for more yards if he was healthy this year, right? 2023, Jace McClellan, 180 carries for almost 900 yards. Look at Gibbs right here. Gibbs only had 150 for 926. Damn. You know what's crazy? What if Gibbs that year would have got okay, hear me out. What if Gibbs would have got this 270 carries like Brian did in 2021? He would have ran for 2,000 yards. Why didn't we use Gibbs more in 2022? Isn't that crazy? 150 for 1,000? Yeah, if he would have had 250, man, he could have had, 1,800. But I will say this about Gibbs. It's like Alabama might not have used him as much as we wanted to, but Gibbs also got better and better and better as he's gotten better, and he's still getting better. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and then Brian Robinson, it's wild to think he got that amount of carries. 271 for 271? That's how many carries B-Rob got? That is crazy. And the last 2 years, fam, those are the last 2 years that Alabama reached the national title game. 2021 lost, right, to Georgia. In 2020, beat Ohio State. And, man, look at Najee, man. And I will say this, too, okay? Brian Robinson and Najee Harris, these guys, much bigger than the other backs, right? Like, Brian Robinson and Najee up in that 225, 230 range. Just something to think about. And I always say this. It seems like there's a clear correlation between running the ball and getting to play in January. You haven't played in January here. You didn't play here. You didn't play here. And you didn't play here. Right? I'm talking like the national title game, because I guess you did play in January here. You see what I'm saying? Dude, Najee caught the ball for sure. Who said that? Ricky, dude. Or who caught the ball? Bama. You're right, bro. Najee caught the ball. Yes. He had a ton of catches. Clear correlation. Run the ball. Play for trophies. Okay. I'm going to take your calls next. Eager to hear you guys' take today. The video is powered by Sleeper, of course, right? Download the app, get $20 upon just downloading the app, get $100, deposit match up to $100. Use the promo code, which is TAILGATE. All right, TAILGATE, that is my personal promo code. All right, as I fire up the call line, please remember, all right, that there's other people that want to call as well. And, so be mindful of, that. And if you called in yesterday, you're off today. So please respect that. Don't be one of these people that like just calls all the, like, we got to space it out. Okay, so thank you. You saw this, Bediako. This is one of the biggest stories in all the NCAA right now, and he's going to play on Saturday. And I think that Nate Oates should. It's good and bad, I think, for athletics. I think this is going to happen more and more. Everybody's doing everything. There's so many gray areas. And this is kind of where we're at. So Bediako will play on Saturday, and that gives Alabama a big man, 7 foot, 225 pounds, that I feel will certainly elevate Alabama's rebounding abilities. And you get a man that has been playing with men. He's a baller. He should have stayed. I 100% think, kind of going back, that Bediako should have stayed. So with that said, call line is open, and we'll take our calls. And we got Mike out in Austin. Mike, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Good to hear from you, man. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. A lot to talk about. This world is crazy. Buyouts, restraining orders. The tampering. This is crazy.
Restraining orders. I missed that one. That must be a Michigan Wolverine story. Is what that must be. But man, it is, Kyle. Just like I say, just Indiana, literally going from worst to first in three years. That tells me everything. But just real quick to answer your question about, I think we have good running backs, man. If there's a good running back out there that we get, like the one we missed out on or whatever, I'm all for it, you know what I mean? But I think we have Daniel Hill back. We have, the two young guys I think are poised. So, and the running game last year, definitely the weakest part of the team, but I think it was running back / play calling / O-line, and not specifically the running back room, but I think we have good running backs unless there's somebody out there.
Yeah, the Pringle kid seems interesting, but I think that might just be kind of, doesn't make sense. Where is he on, in terms of freshman, sophomore? I'm kind of in the poll right here. I'm asking, do we need another running back? 52% say no. It's a very close poll. I don't think Pringle is the right guy. Just being honest. I think you have guys that are similar to him. You might need somebody else that's a veteran, all-purpose back, in my opinion. But anyways, what else you got, Mike?
Yeah, I think we have two good young running backs I want to see play, but I think we need O-line. But another thing, too, I think I looked at the 24/7 portal rankings. I think we're number 15 in transfer portal rankings, which, that number is subjective because you got people going out, you got people coming in, such like that. But as long as we get good offensive and defensive linemen, I think we did good in the portal, no matter what the numbers might say. As long as we get good linemen, we've done in the portal and done good. Another thing too, Kyle, sometimes I think, this is kind of off topic a bit, but sometimes I think, like, the trolls in the chat or the negativity, sometimes I think that comes from other fan bases, man, like Auburn fans, for example. Like, I don't have any specific instances, but like, for instance, the Auburn fans chiming in and trying to, just put a seed of doubt about it. But I think that's some of it right there. I think a lot of negativity from Bama comes from other fan bases, comes from the national media, and not necessarily so much from Bama fans, although we have our share, like all fan bases. But I think a lot of that I think a lot of us Auburn fans chiming in, to be honest with you, man. But Kyle, that's all I got, dude.
Right,
stay warm, everybody.
Yeah,
Y'all take care. God bless. Good luck and roll tide.
All right, roll tide to you. Thanks for calling in, Mike. I appreciate it. Okay, what I need from y'all inside the comment box: how much snow are you anticipating this weekend? Let me know. How much snow are you anticipating this weekend? Is it going to be apocalyptic for you, or not so much? What you think? All right. Let me know inside the comment box, okay? How much snow are you getting this weekend? All right. So we go back to the phone lines, 205. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Yeah, this is KP from Fort and Dell.
KP, what's up, man? Thanks for calling. Yeah.
I got a question I need to ask. We getting all the offensive linemen, right? But at the same time, we had good offensive linemen last year. It's the coach. When we going to get a real offensive lineman coach? Because you can get all the offensive linemen, but if you don't have an offensive coach, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing this year. So you tell me.
You know, that someone I was reading the comments, KP, yesterday. I always read through the comments, and somebody was saying last year's offensive line was supposed to be good. We had Caden Proctor. We had Parker Brailsford, right? We were supposed to have Jaden Roberts and, maybe Michael Carroll. Like, right? I get it. So this year, fans aren't buying that the offensive line is going to be improved because the fans they're smart enough to know. They're like, well, the same offensive line coach is there. So exactly what you're saying going into the season. I don't know how long you've been following the show, KP, but there seems to be a little bit of smoke this morning that there might be a transition at the offensive line coach. I have not heard that. It seems that a lot of people have, so it is something that we are keeping track of. And I'll be around all day to kind of, dive into it and break the news if it does happen. But I think you're right. I think if you have the same offensive line coach, aren't you going to run into the same issues? Now, with that said, Coach Kapilovic has been recruiting. He's been seen out there with 2027 prospects, with guys that we just got from the transfer portal. So I guess we'll have to see. But what else you got, KP?
Yes, I just got another thing. I'm going to let you go. But if we talk about getting a running back, and it's crazy, if we talk about getting another running back, but the running backs we got now is good. But
Yeah.
Like I said, man, if you ain't got a good offensive line coach, it's going to be the same thing with the running backs and the offensive line, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like that. You need a good offensive lineman coach because Nick Saban, he had a good offensive line coach. He had a good staff behind him. So that's all I got.
Thanks, KP. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for calling in. KP out from Fulendale. It looks like we'll go to Jay next. Hang in there, and then we got a 417 coming up next. Looks like we got Jay and then Timothy. But look, KP's right. I mean, simply like if we have the same running backs coming back, and we have in the same offensive line coach, and you have the same offensive coordinator that has shown, within the last 2 years that he's gone away from running the ball. What's to tell you that things automatically change? It's great. And I think if you're a running back, and I hate to do this, but I have to play devil's advocate, if you're looking at Alabama's offense, is this the offense that you want to really come to? I mean, you can hear one thing, but you got to commit to running the ball 100%. And I think for the most part, we believe that we are going to run the football a little bit more, but I don't know. We're only going to know when we are pounding the ball. And I'm not saying in some of these lighter games, like Eastern Illinois, we ran the ball, whatever. Everyone ran the ball. I'm talking like in the SEC. I'm talking like when the game's online, like pounding the rock, right? Jay in Pensacola. Jay, what's up, man?
How's it going, Kyle? How you doing?
Good to see you, bro. What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
I had 4 questions initially, but I'm going to save the fourth one. Well, the other 2 I had 5 in general, but I'm going to say the other 4 to Saturday because I can't call back tomorrow. So my first question for you is, if or when Coach Cap moved to Annulis, I don't think he needs to be fired.
Yeah,
because he's a good recruiter. So I think he just moved to Analyst. So who will we get? Who's out there right now that's free? That can we get to coach our offensive line?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like I told you yesterday, I had a dream that we hired someone from the Bills and from the Eagles, like 2 coaches in the NFL. I woke up and it was just a dream. We still had the same coaches. I don't know, bro. It was, and I really thought that it was happening. It was the weirdest thing. So I don't know. Okay, what else you got?
Yeah, I hope your premonition comes true. I hope there's a vision that God has sent you, Cal. I'm hoping that sometime in the off season that happens, and then I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna give you a hug over the phone when it happens. My second question is, who calls the plays? Ryan Grubb, right?
Yep.
So, we want to commit to running the ball, but if he doesn't call a running play, how can we commit to running the ball? So, despite our running backs, if he doesn't call a running play, how can we commit to run the ball? And in my last question, who would you get, a former running back, who would you get to come back and guide our running backs? Who would you get to come back
to coach him?
A coach or a former player or a former running back?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
I'm sorry. The one more thing, I'm sorry. This be it. I think Daniel Hill needs to lose 20 pounds. I think he needs to lose 20 pounds. And I think Kevin Riley and AKD need to gain 20 pounds. Because right now, both are like 190, right? 190, 180.
Probably, yeah.
I think with their explosiveness that they got, they gained 20 more pounds, and I think they can be more aggressive and more shifty, in my opinion. Yeah. That's all I got, Kyle. I'll let you answer all the line, Kyle. Thank you. Guys, the greatest. I love you, Kyle.
All right, love you too, bro. Take it easy, man. All right, Jay out in Pensacola on the road. I didn't even ask where he was on the road at. Who would I like to come back and like coach the running backs? I don't know. A name that like instantly jumped off was like Trent Richardson. I don't know, right? I mean, you guys were talking to AJ yesterday, getting back into coaching. What about Trent, right? Kind of bring back some of that nastiness. I think he could fit in well. He already knows, he knows culture, right? I think that could be interesting 100% to see. Wouldn't that be amazing? Because some people have been calling for Robert Gillespie at the running backs position, I think. Not so much, but that could be interesting. Do you guys like that? I mean, Najee was like a cool cat, but I think maybe like a Trent Richardson. Who else? I mean, Ingram's not coming back. Ingram is he's killing it on Fox, right? Although he is the biggest Gump. He calls himself King Gump, right? Which I think is probably very suitable. All right, looks like we got Timmy. Timmy, what's up, bro? Where you at, bro?
I'm in Indiana today, Kyle.
Indiana? Whoa, man! Yes, you next to Bloomington? Yeah. Holy cow! Any sightings of Signetti?
Oh man, it was crazy. I was watching that final drive by Miami, and I'm like, they got this in the bag. I go to the bathroom, I turn around, and Indiana celebrating. I'm like, what just happened here? It was a good game, though. I'm not going to lie. That was probably one of the better national championship games I've seen in the last few years. Because Ohio State dominated. Georgia dominated the last 2 years. So, that was a compelling game in the trenches, getting murky, getting physical. I liked it. It kind of made me reminisce of what Alabama used to be. I was just like, man, it kind of made me jealous a little bit because they were running the ball. And I'm like, man, I wish Alabama could run the ball. But there was one thing I noticed about that national championship. That Miami offensive line, this is a crazy thing. He is 6'9", 6'7", 6'9", 340 pounds. He was the tallest guy on the field. And when Miami ran the ball, they ran the ball to where he was, and they were averaging 5, 6 plus yards a carry. So with what I'm about to say is this. I want the bigger guys like Nick Brooks and Javen James, or whatever his name is, to be on the inside. Ty Haywood, left tackle. I want James, left guard. Del Gotti's going to be the center. And I want Brooks to be the right guard and Carroll to be the right tackle. The only reason why is because we didn't have that, I guess, weight and the height advantage against a lot of other teams because the inside of us, we were short, we were, undersized because of Parker Brelsford and, all the other two. So I say this, with 2 6'4", 320, 30-pound guys, I say we run the ball this year.
Mm-hmm.
If we can just push people around, we can run the ball. And I really want to see Crowell, man. Like I don't think we need a running back. I think we need to look at what we have because if I'm Alabama and if I go get a Pringle or a Christian Clark or whoever, I'm telling the guys that committed to us, like, hey, like, y'all are not good enough right now. Like, we don't believe in y'all right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
But then they're going to lose confidence. They're going to lose confidence in themselves, and then they're going to be like, well, if they got a running back, I just committed to these guys. I'm going to transfer. So, like, I'm going to just say this. I love the fact of what the last caller said about a former Alabama player being a coach. Like, we got Ha Clinton Dix. Wasn't he safety?
Mm-hmm.
We need to have him as a safeties coach. We need Ryan Kelly to freaking, retire from the Vikings or whatever. Have him be the offensive line coach because he was one of the best offensive linemen that Alabama's had. He was the best center that Alabama's had for sure. So, like, we need former players that have that dog mentality that was a part of Saban's, that were cut from Saban, that was in there in the gym getting physical on the field, that they know what it takes to win a championship. I want our staff to be consisted of former players that have that experience. And because if we have that experience, the players are going to be like, okay, like I can relate to this guy. Like he's played, like he's won national championships. He's got in the, the nitty gritty. Some of the coaches, they haven't played in 20 years, or some of them were linemen in 1980, like they haven't played. So the game has kind of shifted away from them a little bit, especially in this new age. So, yeah, like I would rather see a Trent Richardson or Eddie Lacy as a running backs coach. I'd see some different people in that staff. Like, I have no problem with it. But if we can't run the ball with the big guys we just got, man, it's going to be crazy. Because we're averaging 310 pounds in the offensive line. If we can't move guys, that's going to be we're going to be the laughing stock. So, like, anyway, Kyle, I just wanted to rant and tell you that. We love you, Kyle. Thank you for the Wake Up Bama podcast. I watch it every morning when I'm on the road.
Yeah.
When I wake up that early.
Yeah.
I love what you do, Kyle.
Appreciate it, bro.
I support it. So, like,
let's
see what we got this year, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, be safe on the road to me. All right, man. Be safe going through Indiana. Did you guys already mention how much snow you guys are getting this weekend? Is Snowmageddon? Was anybody around for Snowmageddon in Atlanta? Do you remember this? That was like the craziest thing. What year was Snowmageddon in Atlanta? I think I had moved here already. Let's see what year that was. 470. You're coming up next. 470. Hey, that isn't that okay? That's Georgia. But when was Snowmageddon? When was Snowmageddon? Yeah. Oh shoot. And now it says 2010. Was it that long ago? No, it says 2014. Did anyone survive that? Let's see if this 470 did. Hey, welcome to the program. You're on line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Danny from Atlanta.
Did you say Eddie?
No, Danny from Atlanta.
All right, Danny, did you survive this Snowmageddon?
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. The news is saying that there's supposed to be another one coming this weekend, but I don't believe the hype.
Yeah, what happened to you in Snowmageddon? Were you in Atlanta? Were you stuck? Were you stranded? What do you remember?
Well, I was in Atlanta. I was a senior graduating high school at that time, and I had a couple of my friends. Like everyone came to my house because I lived so close to the school. Because people were stuck in the middle of the drive, and then like in the roads, people were sleeping on the buses. It was crazy. I know. Yeah. Shut down for like a week.
Jeez, man, that was crazy. I rewinded that. Wasn't it like remind me, Denny? I think all my Atlanta Braves fans. Wasn't it like Chipper Jones was out there saving people on like a on a 4-wheeler. Do you remember this story? He was,
right. That's the report. Yeah, because it was
Jeez.
crazy. Like,
Oh
if you
my
had a
God.
dirt bike and a 4-wheeler,
Yeah.
you was doing a lot of transportation for people because there's a lot of kids stranded. It was crazy.
Yeah, Chipper Jones, man, what a player. Jeez, man. That whole Braves team back then was crazy. All right, Denny, what's up, man? Welcome to the show, bro. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, it's my first time calling. I'm just calling in because, a lot of people are getting a lot of heat on Coach Cap, but I believe that he's really doing Coach Grubb a favor because he's getting all the heat that Coach Grubb should be getting right now. Because I don't know whoever had played offensive line or D-line, but when you know the offense is going to pass the ball, it's so much easier because you're going to shoot the gap every single time. Like, when our offense did not have any run game. Yeah, Jam had a couple games here and there, but it's like, the reality is, when the lights come on, it's one-on-one, the player versus player. It's the best person's going to win. I don't think we should be pushing the panic button right now because if we didn't make any moves in the transfer portal, then, yeah, sure, great, push the panic button.
Yeah.
But we brought in a lot of people. Yeah, we lost a lot of people, but look at the difference in the people we brought in.
Mm-hmm.
They're committed to making a change. They're committed to the run game. And worst case, let's say, for instance, right now we know for sure 100% we got the new center from Cal Poly and Michael Carroll. Those are for sure day one starters.
Yep.
And it's easier if you look. A lot of the people are 6'5" plus and 300 pounds. So on paper they look like tackles, but it's so much easier to transition a tackle to a guard rather than a guard to a tackle. Mm-hmm. And if any of the O-line heads that's on there, they know that's facts because it's so much harder to block outside rather than block inside. So I just feel like we should be pointing the finger more at Ryan Grubb, put him on the hot seat because at the end of the day, it's player versus player. It's the best player is going to win. Either you're cut like that or you're not. Yeah. I don't think like the coach is so much to blame for it, but like let's be real. Look at how Indiana and Miami game. Those were some dogs out there on the D line, and they were going after it,
100%.
And they changed the whole game.
Yeah.
So it's like theoretically, like. Coach Grubb needs to give Coach Cap something for something because he's getting all the heat when it's really we should be pointing the finger at Ryan Grubb. Because let's be real, look at how our play calling was. We go straight pass plays, throw a trick play in there, and then not one running play.
No, how about and then how about this, bro? Who is the Seattle Seahawks coach, the OC last season? Ryan Grubb.
Exactly.
They didn't make the playoffs. This year they're about to win the Super Bowl, dog. By how? By running the ball. So, come on.
Exactly. Because it's like, let's be real. Like, if you know that we have a struggling running back, they're going to shoot the gap every single time. They're going to load the box and they're going to dare you to pass it. Granted, yeah, we had some good offensive plays, but realistically, Ty was saving us every other game. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take too much calls.
Yeah,
but,
appreciate it, bro.
Save
the number, man. I appreciate the support from Atlanta, dog. Thanks for calling in.
Yes, sir. Always.
Yeah, no doubt. Roll Tide to you, bro. All right, yeah. Look, good calls, and I get it. So things that we're tracking, it seems like there might be, some smoke to this, Coach Kapilovic thing. We'll keep you posted. I think Dontario said it's a silent fire. I saw this. He said it was a silent firing, so it's not going to be public. So who knows, man? We'll keep you posted. I promise you. But if it does go official, I promise you, I'll probably be cooking. Or I'll probably be doing something with Lacey or, let's see, Thursday. Today's Caden's working today, so we'll see. But, I got you covered if news happens, and we'll see. But I just like to point out, people are like, well, Kapilovic hasn't improved. Well, neither has Grubb in the last 2 years. Seattle was not it. Over here was not it. I'm willing to give this guy another opportunity here because we saw kind of a grow up with Kane Womack on the defensive side from last year to this year, and maybe some new components, but I don't know. And then, Scott Huff was associated with the Seahawks when Grubb was fired. Mike McDonald fired them both, okay? So does Huff make sense? Maybe, but there might be some other names. I know you guys were calling for a couple of the names inside the comment box. I saw Pittman, Stoutland, Jones. Who knows? I don't know. But we'll keep you posted. Is definitely something that we are tracking. You all stay safe. If you're driving, please stay safe. Don't get caught in a snowmageddon. Stay close to your phones. Keep them charged, right? Not only for your safety, but for the notifications, right? All right. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I got you covered. I appreciate you guys all the way up top. All you guys inside the combines. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thanks for calling in today and for supporting the channel all the time. Think about becoming a fan funder. And, of course, get inside the combines. Let me know where you're coming from, and it's always good to rap with you guys. Thank you so much. Coming to you on this beautiful Thursday, January 22nd from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Talk soon. See ya.